All right, please be joined this time by the head coach at Creekview, Coach Trevor Williams, one of my favorites. Coach, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Excited to get to talk some football.
Man, let's do it. We don't get to do it that often. It's always something else. So, third down defense, man. Let's go.
Yeah, all right. So third down defense, and again, I'm not a clinic speaker. This is not going to be full of clinic stuff and that kind of deal. But it starts with the coaching staff we have on the defensive side of the football. My defensive coordinator and linebackers coach Chip Martin does an unbelievable job. The DB's coach Josh Pritchett, who you've known a long time. Taylor Hunt coaches our defensive ends. Jeff Imperial with our D tackles, and Peyton Parker with our outside linebackers. Those guys do an incredible job. And for the last 2 years, especially, Coach Martin has called the defense, and it's been his show. And he does a really, really good job getting those guys to buy in and play extremely hard. And that's where it starts on that side of the ball. This comes, from our belief, and we're not unique in the fact that, we look at these four areas as kind of the four key things to being great on defense. Number one, it starts with creating turnovers. Drill it. We track it every day. We track it in practice. We track it through games, and then make it an expectation. Number two right there is great on third down, which is what we're going to talk about tonight. I think, in your book, Situational Football, talks a lot about it. I don't think you can practice that and communicate that with your kids enough in 2023. They just don't watch a lot of football sometimes. So I think talking through those situations, making sure you've got a plan, and then practicing that is going to show up on game day. And the last bullet point there is use practice to focus on it. And so we do third downs every day, but Wednesday specifically is our third down day defensively. So we'll go through third and short, third and medium, third and long, and different areas of the field, and really kind of focus on what the opponent does on third downs and what we need to do and what our plan is. I think you got to be great in the red zone. Offenses are so good now at moving the football. To think you're not going to give up first downs is kind of silly. But once you get in the red zone, if you can force field goals and get a stop here and there and create a turnover, you got a chance to be good. And then the big one for us is create negative plays. As we go through this third down stuff, you'll find out, and we're, again, not unique. You're a whole lot better third and long defensively than you are third and short. So winning first down is critical. We ran the math the other day. Just in 2022, I want to say that drives where we did not record a negative play scored 1 out of 3 times, and drives where we recorded a negative play only scored 7% of the time against us in 2022. So those numbers, if you can win first down, you got a great chance to win on third down. We've been really fortunate since we've been at Creekview to coach some really good defenses and really good players. There's the numbers. I mean, for what it's worth, we track third down defense. We also track 3 and outs. We believe that putting a number on how many times you get 3 and outs is important. And again, I think you can move the bar, and understanding that in modern football, offense is at an advantage and they're going to score and they're going to move the ball. But that doesn't mean you should let off of your goals and expectations and your standards for your defense. So we still track 3 and outs. We want to go 3 and out 40% of the game. And then obviously sacks and those types of things. And the thing that has, I don't know, surprised me the last couple years is, what a great job our defensive staff has done getting off the field in multiple ways, right? So you can see the numbers here. We had 43.5 sacks in 2020. We had 22 sacks in 2021 and 15 this year. but the third down conversion percentage was less than 35% all 3 years. The 3 and out percentage was higher this year than it was a year ago with less sacks. So there's different ways to get it done, and I think part of that is changing, and offenses are getting more comfortable with pressure and more comfortable with different looks and multiple fronts. So they're doing a better job as far as just getting the ball out quick and not giving up a sack. But, as a defense, you have to adjust and then, figure out ways to mix in pressure and mix in coverage to get off the field. So our plan third down wise starts on the weekends, right, with opponent scouting. Who are they? When does the offensive coordinator become one-dimensional? Is it a down and distance? Is it an area of the field? When does he really get one-dimensional from a standpoint of if it's 3rd and 3 or less, he's running the football 90% of the time, or if it's 3rd and 6 or more, he's throwing the football 90% of the time. Find out what that looks like and make your plan based on that. I'm a numbers guy. I've worked with a couple guys that are great feel guys when they call a game. I'm more of an analytics and numbers guy. I want to know the data behind why we're making calls we're making. And number 3 is probably the most important, is who their best players are. We always, it's cliche and whatever to say, take away their best players, but really do everything you can to do that. Number 2 for us is self-scout. What's hurting us? What have opponents had success with? And what is that team or that offensive coordinator or that head coach, what have they had success with in the past against us? Because a lot of times they'll go back to it in those critical third down situations. And what do we like to do on third downs? What's our tendency? How many are we bringing in pressure? What coverages are we playing based on down distance, field zone, and what's working? Sometimes I think we outsmart ourselves as coaches, and we get away from what's working just because we feel like the other team's going to have a plan for it. And while they may well have a plan for it, don't get away from what's working and what your kids believe in. If you've got a stunt or a coverage or a movement that is really working that year or that season, stay with it, build off of it, make it look different, present it in different ways, but stay with it because it's something obviously that your kids do well and that they believe in as well. Personnel for us is a big one. For us, you hear offensive guys talk about it all the time, players, not plays. Well, I don't think that applies to just the offense. Bringing a pressure doesn't do you any good if the guy you're bringing pressure with can't get there anyway. So make sure that your best guys are in a position to make an impact in critical situations. Your best pass rushers need to be rushing the passer in critical situations. And for us, make sure your coverage matches your call. Don't get caught up in being cute and being fancy and just because you see it on Saturdays or see it somewhere else means, it may not fit your kids. And for us, we always want to be on the attack. We want to go make high school kids, 15, 16, 17-year-olds make mistakes. Don't sit and wait on the game to come to you. Find a way to attack protections, attack personnel, attack early. I think hits on the quarterback early in a game can pay dividends later in the game. I've heard you specifically talk offensively about maybe throwing it earlier in a game than you normally would, just to kind of loosen the defense up and then get back to your base stuff. For us, I feel like you have to bring pressure early and attack and maybe get a hit or two on the quarterback to really affect him for the rest of the game. One of the things that I think is critical, and one of the things that I learned from Jeff Arnett and Jason Nash at South Forsyth was don't be afraid to move puzzle pieces around. Don't be afraid to put your best DB in the slot on their best receiver. Don't be afraid to put your best outside linebacker as a stand-up defensive end in certain fronts to get after the quarterback in a third down situation. Move your puzzle pieces, use your personnel to the very best you can to set yourself up. So as you watch, I've got some film clips, and as you watch the film, you'll notice some different guys in different situations in different areas of the field just because we feel like those matchups work well for us. One of the things that, I think, excuse me, is critical defensively when you start attacking personnel is making sure you can get one-on-ones with the pass pro and with the back. If you can attack some guys and get your linebackers one-on-one with the back, you got a chance to really make an impact. Here's the situation. And one thing I'll say before we really get started, you'll notice us in a bunch of fronts and a bunch of different coverages and different looks. That's base for us. We start that day one. So excuse me, we'll move from odd front to even front. We'll move guys around. We blitz and work stunts every day. So it's not something that we just put in for a week. It's not something that we just work on third down. Anybody that's watched us play knows that we're going to bring pressure from different areas of the field all the time. But that's base defense for us. So we're not necessarily getting out of our comfort zone or doing something crazy on third down. We're doing what our kids know how to do. I think you can't be afraid to bring pressure and understand the down and distance. Right here, we got a double cover on their best receiver, bringing double edge pressure. They're keeping 7 in. Our guys do a really good job on the running backs, and our middle backer cleans it up. They own their leverage. They do a really nice job right there. There's the end zone copy. Here's another look. We're in a stack front, so a little 3-3 look. We're playing banjo coverage, right? First in, first out on the back two. Really nice job from our safety right here of understanding the down and distance. He does a really good job of letting the ball be caught in front of the sticks, coming up, making a play. Why is that not?
It looks fine to us, Trip.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
Messed up on my end. So again, players not plays. We got our best linebacker going to Air Force right here, trying to get him one-on-one on the back. Create a quick throw. It's 3rd and 7. We come up and make a tackle. Same game. Now we're in a 4-down front on 3rd and long, 3rd and 6. And guys, again, I told you I'm not a clinic guy. It doesn't always work, right? You spend all this time creating a great plan, and you feel like you got it squared away. And Coach Bennett at Cambridge does a nice job, comes up with a little counter pitch right here, rips us for 15. Now it's 1st and 10 again. So we can say it's all perfect and we got the best plan and whatever, but you got to understand that sometimes when you take chances like we do, the other guy's going to rip you for a big gain sometimes too. Again, understanding, talking situational football with your guys, understanding down and distance, understanding opponent tendency. Our corner does a nice job. He's playing off, even though we're bringing pressure, kind of sits at the sticks and is able to break on the comeback. So that's Coach Martin and Coach Pritchett doing a great job of making sure those guys know where the sticks are and how to protect those and the routes that they're likely to see in that scenario. Same thing here, get them to 3rd and 11. In a stack look, we got guys walked up. The cool clinic term right now is simulated pressure. So we're bluffing from the outside right here, and our linebacker does a nice job coming up and tackling the screen because he understands situational football. It's 3rd and long. And he understands that the screen game is a big part of what we do and what we're going to see. We see a ton of them. Players not plays one more time right here. By this point in the season, our big linebacker had converted to tailback, but 3rd long against a great Calhoun team, he's right back in the mix. Coming off the edge, forces the guy out of the pocket. We're able to get off the field. So again, use your guys to the very best that you can and put them where they need to be successful. And again, it's not perfect, and we've got guys that are running open and doing things, but we feel like with the attack mentality and bringing pressure from different angles. Here's another one of our favorite 4-man pressures, double A gap blitz, get a one-on-one with the back, ball's caught in front of the line to gain. You can see our DBs very aware of where the sticks are. Pressure makes the quarterback come out of the ball's hand quick, and we're able to do it. Again, that's our star, our outside linebacker, strong safety coming in an A-gap pressure because late in the season he turned out to be one of our best pass rushers, and we needed to make sure that we were able to get him involved in some pass rush scenarios. Moving the coverage on 3rd and 100, right? Moving it around. There's another sprint draw. When you're going to attack and when you blitz like we blitz and you got some young guys, sometimes they fit the wrong gap, and it leads to a big gain like it did right here. That kid was special. He's going to go play college football somewhere. We fit the wrong gap, ended up with 2 outside right here. And he rips it. So again, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that we've got some great plan and magic dust. We got some really good players that play really hard, but we play some great coaches and great players as well that find a way to exploit you when you're not perfect. Again, pressure, double edge. They get the ball dumped off quick. We're able to rally and tackle in front of the line to gain. Nothing special out of the odd front, just a double edge pressure right there. We don't mind. If we broke it down, I'd probably say 30% of our pressures are 4-man, another 30%, maybe 40% are 5-man pressures, and then we're not afraid to bring a 6-man pressure and play 0 behind it. Coach Pritchett does a great job with our DBs, making them understand down and distance and their capabilities and their ability levels. So you'll see guys play man from a press alignment. You'll see guys play man from off. Just make sure the ball's caught outside and in front of you. There's another look where we're walked up trying to get some coverage, some protections to go certain ways. And then our guys do a good job flying to the football. Yeah, nice job here. It's 3rd and 10. Linebacker does a great job of understanding situational football, not flying down in there and being home for the counter. Was able to make a good open field tackle, good players, make way better coaches. The X's and O's do a much better job when they're 6'3", 240 and can run. Here's another one, attacking protections, right? We know we get full slide with a one-on-one to the back. Right here, bring the looper from the middle backer, get a clean shot on the quarterback, able to get the ball incomplete. And again, that's just Coach Martin doing a really good job attacking a protection and calling the right stunt at the right time. Would like to see the defensive end on this side keep contained on the outside. Another example of players not plays, same kid, number 21, down at the defensive end, 3rd and short, wanted to make sure he could impact the play. He gets off the rock right here, causes a fumble for us, and we're able to get off the field on 3rd down. Again, it's not that we're drawing up some magic formula. It's that we guys around to move the puzzle pieces to try to put them in a great position to help us. To that end, you can see right here, Taylor Cox Young, our number 1 corner, on their best player, number 9, just committed to play in college somewhere. I can't remember. I saw it the other day. And we knew we had a matchup issue if he was inside in the slot. So on 3rd down, we make a match call, and we put our best on their best. Does a great job getting his hand in there. Kid runs a great route. And we're able to knock the ball away. Don't be afraid to move your puzzle pieces around. And then, you've seen a bunch of clips of pressure and stunts. Well, here on the same game, 3rd down, we're going to drop 8. We're going to rush 3. Trying to make the ball be caught in front of us. Linebacker does a nice job reading the eyes of the quarterback, getting up under and making a play. Again, right here, we're later in the game, understanding the situation. We've got 6, 7 DBs. We've got our 2 outside linebackers are now in the defensive ends as a wide rush contained, just trying to get a little bit of pressure, but still being able to cover with 8 guys in the back end. Just trying to make sure we get them all covered up. We're fortunate enough to get a sack right there because they're really good players. Again, 3rd and long, you're always better 3rd and long than you are 3rd and short. But the safety right here, 3-year starter, all-region player, he understands the situation. He's back deep. He makes a break forward on the football, is able to separate the ball from the man. And even if he hadn't, he tackles the guy short of the 1st down. Mixing up looks, just dropping 8, rushing 3, getting our best player on their best player. He's in the slot right here, covering their Division I wide receiver corner. I think the best offensive coaches talk all the time about getting their players the ball in critical situations, players not plays, and finding creative ways to get them the ball. I think defensively, you've got to let go of your rigidity sometimes of, this guy plays this position or this guy does that. And be willing to move them around and get a favorable matchup for you and your team. Same thing, right? Our safety understands they're putting their best player in motion. Third down, he's going to make sure he's over the top, gets an interception, not because, we're unbelievable coaches, but he's in a great position because he understands situational football and he understands what's happening within the game situation. There's our outside linebacker, defensive end again on an edge rush, forces the quarterback to step up. Guys react up to the play instead of back. They do a great job understanding the situation, keeping the ball in front of them. Make the ball be thrown short. Right, we're fine with the ball being handed off when it's 3rd and 15. Linebackers do a nice job of not flying down there, being able to make a tackle. DBs, again, moving around to make sure we get the best guy covered. And, again, we don't fit it perfect. It's not, clinic tape per se, but that's our plan. We were going to make them hand the football off 3rd and long, and our kids executed it. Another look at the 4-down front. Again, we're changing fronts and personnel, trying to get a one-on-one with the back with a double A gap pressure. Keeping the ball caught in front of the sticks. This young man knows that guy can fly. I mean, he was a legit 4.4 kid. Our guy is not. But he knew where the down and distance was. He knew where the line to gain was and was able to keep him short of it. And that's situational football. I mean, that's Wednesday practice right there. We're talking, here's their plays, here's where they're attacking. We tell them all the time where the sticks are, what routes we're looking for, and then they're able to make an adjustment off that and come up and make a tackle. There's a look at the pressure. They do a really good job coaching them up. They do a great job picking up the pressure, but we're still able to get him down before the line to gain. And again, doesn't always work, right? You bring pressure, you feel like you got a great plan, and all of a sudden this guy's deep. They got good players too. Would love to see this outside linebacker drop underneath since he's not blitzing. When we don't communicate effectively the situation and they're not aware of it, it ends up getting you burnt right here for a 1st down. I didn't only want to show the good clips. Guy's really shifty. Again, we fit it. Outside linebacker ducks his head inside, and they're able to get outside and scramble for a 1st down. So just because you bring pressure, there's no magic pill. There's no magic defense. You still got to execute it. But our kids play really hard and try to execute the best you can. So just because you got a great plan, doesn't mean all the time that it works. Another great job working through some mess right here with a 3-man rush. Kid was able to make a great play. 3rd and short down on the goal line. We've got our center in at nose. Had a heavy personnel package, again, just like everybody else, but put your best players where they are needed to be successful. And you get a big 3rd down stop right there in a big game against a really good team. Another thing I think, you know, if somebody takes something out of this, I think pre-snap movement, especially on third down, if you watch what Coach Smart and those guys are doing at Georgia, anytime you can move guys pre-snap and stem and draw guys off sides, I think especially on third down, I think it puts you in an advantage. So I would highly recommend putting in some pre-snap movement defensively. I know Coach Face back in the day at Sequoia was the guru of pre-snap movement, because I think you can really give people some fits, because not a lot of teams see it anymore. Same thing again, we're in a 4-down front. I'd say we probably played less 4-down front this year than we ever have. But again, it's 3rd and short against a team with a really good offensive line and really good running backs. And we're 4-down front, and we've adjusted, and we're matching the coverage to it to get off the line of scrimmage and go make a tackle. That's all I got.
Let's see. There I am. That was good, man. I appreciate it. I appreciated the Ray Face plug too, you know. Man,
They don't make them like they used to anymore, Coach.
Yeah, I'll tell you that was just talking about this earlier today, but the amount of work that we used to do you know, was unbelievable. And one, we had to because of technology, and two, that was just kind of the expectation. And I think over the course of the next 20 years, you know, we made the whole culture, I mean, made it where we told you guys to go home, you know, spend some time with your families. It's not all about that. Some people might be taking that a little too serious, you know,
no doubt.
And now you can get actually better by getting back to doing some work. Now, I'm not advocating for them Ray Face like weekends, but I think some of the stuff you guys are doing just comes from work. I think it's important to get your kids to play hard. That's what I saw, and you guys are good at that. But what I saw too was a lot of people prepared that came from time the coaches spent when the kids weren't there.
Yeah.
And that's where I guess I'm getting to. There's a medium somewhere where you're going to have to really study and give yourself an opportunity on third down to really understand what they're trying to do. And that doesn't come from watching the film one time. Or, you know, you're going to have to really dive in and have an understanding. And of course, you're going to have to script the practice stuff where you can get as many quality reps as possible against their best stuff. And I just think that's been the theme for me the last few weeks doing these clinics with people is the people who are being successful right now are finding time to maximize their time work away from practice in the weight room.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, practice in the weight room is the most important. But because we've tried so hard to tell coaches, goes to home, I think some people going home too much. You know what I mean?
I do. And I think now the key is, how do you minimize time on the practice field with the kids and get enough reps? But the work is the work. And that was what Arnett always told us. You know, he said, look, we can marathon it on Sunday if you want to and go 8-9 hours, or we can split it up 3-4 hours on Saturday morning, be home to watch college football, go to your kids' games, do all that stuff, and then another 4 or 5 on Sunday. But the work is the work. It's got to get done.
Yeah.
You know, there is no shortcut to the work. You want to be as efficient as you can, and you don't want to waste time doing stuff. You know, like we're looking at our scouting report. I think sometimes our scouting report goes too in depth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the kids don't care.
They don't care.
You know,
it's really for you.
Right.
That's the mistake people make. They think it's for those kids. They don't.
You know, we hand it to them, and we've got heights and weights and all this kind of stuff, and they don't care.
They don't care. It's okay if you need that. If you need to get your mind right around the team. But I just thought as I watched and heard you that people are going to, you want to be great on third down, you're going to get a small time of practice. You said on Wednesday. You're going to really need to maximize your time preparing that day. And you're going to really need to maximize your time of preparing when the kids aren't around so you can make the right call. Third and long is real simple. The team's either going to go for the first down or they're going to play it safe. You know, you get in third and
Yeah.
extra, especially you get into the 11, 12, 13 to go. They're only going to do one of those two things. It's pretty simple, actually. And if you're right, it's pretty easy to stop them. I
Yeah.
mean, if they're going to try to throw it 14 yards, you bring more than they can block. They can't do
Yeah.
that. If they're going to throw screen or draw or something, you drop 8, you know, or whatever. I mean, you just is. I know I'm making that sound more simple than it is, but most teams have. That's a pretty simple tendency
Yeah.
that most teams have. You can give yourself a pretty good chance just by putting a little bit of time in. And you guys, I know, are notoriously hard workers. That's why I'm pointing it out to folks who may not know you. You know, get on your film, get in your self scout, and figure out what you need to work on, and then go home. Don't spend 2 hours BSing about who got the other job or what team's getting turf. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for going home,
Yeah.
but like you said, the work is the work, man, and you're gonna have to put some work in to get some of this stuff accomplished.
No doubt. And I think, planning practice, like you said, and scripting and make sure the cards are right and make sure you're communicating that side of it, and like I said, for us, Wednesdays is third down days. We do a skelly that's third down, and we do a team, and we'll stunt and we'll do all those things. But the planning that goes into it, that Coach Martin and Coach Pritchett put into that plan for that hour and 40-minute practice is incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what you want to see. You know, if I was coming to watch Creekview, I'd want to watch you guys practice if I was trying to get better, but I may ask if I could come on the weekend. You know what I mean? Like, or come
Right.
in after practice on Tuesday and just hear what they're saying. You know, we can really get an idea of what the work that goes into some of this stuff. But anyway, I appreciate you taking some time to do this, man. It means a lot. Kind of neat to see you guys what you've been doing. So, I'm a Creekview fan.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Take care, man. Good to see you like always.
You too. Appreciate it.